Okay.
Mr. Meyer likes it cold.
Always, always, always.
It's comfortable. It's comfortable, Mr. Missouri.
You're not going to be used to it next year.
Well, I'll say that come fall, you're not gonna be.
Hope so.
We'll get you on the neck again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the apple time. Apple time.
So-
No, there we go. Okay.
Call to order. Oh, wait, unmute, thank you. Can you hit that? Thank you. Appreciate it. All good? Green, yep, it's green. Okay, it is 7 o'clock, and I'm going to call to order. All rise for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. Everyone is here. Liz Duchess is absent. As a reminder, please contact us 48 hours ahead of time to let us know. We'll start right off. I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of May 10th, 2021 as presented.
So moved.
Second? Okay,
Move it yourself.
yeah. I'm sorry, I asked for a second, but you can take it as a, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the regular meeting executive session minutes of May 10th, 2021 as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, for June 2021 expenses, please note the additional bills. Are there any questions pertaining to those? If so, if not, I need a motion to approve the June 2021 expenses as presented.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
and Hernandez,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Mr. Peters?
I'm up.
Yes.
All right. Balance in the super account at First Community at the end of May was $112,362.74. Outstanding checks totaled $87,041.38. Made payroll expense carryover was $55,1094, leaving the adjusted bank balance at $19,370.42. Lunch program balance $78,47.18. Impress fund at $5,000. Totaling $32,217.60. The investment balances were $9,395,088.30, leaving the balance of all funds as of May 31st at $9,427,305.90. May receipts were $1,146,419.49. Expenses were $1,160,947.78. The individual fund balances at the end of the month were education fund $2,595,397.65, building fund $2,087,314.89, bond and interest minus $78,860.36, transportation fund $1,681,782.40, IMRF $145.86. Working cash, $2,513,560.57. Port fund, $159,607.41, and life safety, $468,357.48. Interest earned in May was $127.03. We had a few deposits from the state. State aid, excuse me, $170,848. IDEA preschool grant, $37. IDEA flow-through grant, $63,187. And the ESSER grant, $12,557. We had the first real estate distribution of $83,306.51. That's the fund balances in the back.
Any questions for Mr. Peters?
Mike, what is the ESS?
That's a great question. Martin?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the ESSER grants is the...
This is what you'll hear
Yeah, it's
about.
the series of federal grants that the federal government has given to a lot of municipalities and schools to deal specifically with COVID. And so there are 3 specific grants. The first one, I'm going to mess these up, the first one was 100,000 maybe. The second one was about 300,000 and the third was about 700,000. And so one of the things that we've been talking about doing is, obviously it's a health concern that in 2 of our buildings we have no fresh air circulated into our buildings. And so if one of the reasons to do the HVAC proposal now is if there's a good project, a good price that can move forward, then the federal government is going to pay for a large portion of that project. And so in those ESSER grants, you have to make sure that you designate at least 20% for more educational related and less health related items. And so that's like, for example, a lot of the technology we've been doing in the last few months we've been able to pay for it with federal funds, and tonight we're going to finish our updating of smart TVs campus-wide. That project will be completely done, and again, at not a cost to us, the federal government's paying for it.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Never saw that one.
It's going to be exciting for us.
Yes, I know.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I need a motion to approve the May 2021 Treasurer's Report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, Fuller,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ms. Weissel would like to speak. Again, state your name, where are you from?
Carla Weissel, Beecher, Illinois. Number 1, texting during board meetings and unprofessional texting relationships. It seemed that Mr. Cox and Mrs. Pappas were communicating via text during the last meeting. This is a public forum, and hiding behind text is unprofessional, cowardly, and beneath the office of the board, especially if they are trying to silence me or board members. I hope the unprofessional texting relationships in all circumstances will now end with Mr. Cox's
Weissel,
departure.
This calls for
It is
a
not
speculation
transparent.
on your part. I think it's
Are you interrupting me
inappropriate.
now?
Thank you.
Can we move to executive session?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not allowing me to finish my public comment?
You cannot.
What can I do? Because you might be
This-
violating the open meeting act.
So, what you are doing is you are discussing the performance of an employee. That's an executive session conversation. And so we can either go into closed session, or you can change the subject, or you can sit down.
And could you
It
please
is
stand
un-
and refrain from sitting on
Yes,
the
please
table,
don't lay it on the
please?
table.
That's
It is
unprofessional.
also unprofessional and slanderous, so I would choose your words very carefully.
2, accepting union money for school board campaigns. I have evidence that Julie Pappas accepted $500 in union money for her campaign from Southland Friends Labor. School board decisions should not be at the mercy of unions or other political operatives. I would hope the board is not for sale. With that, she should have been recusing herself of all union and union-related matters. But she did not, and was inserting herself into union-related meetings. I will be putting that information in writing and submitting it to the Regional Office of Education after completing the necessary research. Ashley Belt actually accused me of accepting union funds for my campaign. The truth is I did not accept any funds from anyone. When I was running against people like Ashley Belt and Janet Pallmeyer, who went so low as to attack our local businesses and who lobbed personal attacks even at Juan Hernandez, who spends his days running a food pantry for people in need, I spent my own money as I deemed necessary. Ashley and Janet's comments, either on social media or at public meetings, were shameful and an embarrassment to Beecher. Additionally, Janet Pallmeyer, Julie Pappas, and Ashley Bell have all blocked me from seeing their Facebook posts.
Absolutely.
The shameful or intentionally deceptive remarks that were launched against us need to be brought to the open for all to see, especially as public officials. 3, finally, the town was infatuated with why the previous board did not renew Mr. Cox's contract. The full board was aware, and Mr. Herman and Mrs. Pappas were intentionally deceptive about not being informed of the reasons.
I would ask
Thank
you to remain honest in your comments. I appreciate it.
I'd just like to make a
Yeah, please
comment
do,
on
sure.
your last statement, and it's entirely not factual. I have no idea and was never told any reason, despite requesting it numerous times.
You were at all the
Thank you.
meetings, Mr. Herman.
I was at all the meetings.
All of them.
It was
And you
never
know.
So was
discussed.
that, yeah.
Thank you.
Can we move on as a board?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, and you know, it's unfortunate that every single month things are brought up like this, where we've obviously stopped the personal attacks and stopped the pettiness as a board. So I would respectfully ask that the public would support us in our unification and stop the lies, stop the slandering, and keep this professional at all times. Are there any public comments on the phone?
Yes,
Any
there's
answers?
one. Going to allow them to unmute themselves now. They'll, on their phone, they'll have to press a button and they should be able to.
Okay, thank you. Whoever is online for a public comment, please state your name and where you live. Is it star
I
six?
think it's star 6 to unmute. And we can't do it on ours. It has to be done on theirs.
Okay. Person trying to unmute, please try star 6.
Oh,
There you
hello.
go.
Am I, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't make it to the meeting, so this was the best that I could do. But, so this is Melanie Brenenstall at 202 Miller. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the reopening plan for the fall. I have been kind of looking online and thinking about this past year, and I think we can all agree we're very happy that the school year is done. And so I just wanted to encourage the board and our incoming superintendent to really discuss the plan, come up with a comprehensive plan, and not just take what IDPH and CDC says and pass that along. So, you know, masks are no longer required for vaccinated people, and if our teachers have had the opportunity, our teachers and staff, to get the vaccine, as well as anyone over 12 at this point, then anyone else that's not vaccinated has made the decision to do so and are comfortable with the risks that they're taking. So in light of that, I strongly urge the board to make masks optional in the coming school year and let parents decide for their children. Data has shown that schools aren't super spreaders. Young children, i.e. elementary school age, aren't spreading COVID. And the masks, I think we've seen data that they don't work as the stop-all to it. I'm begging our superintendent and our board to think for themselves and not go blindly with the IDPH recommendations. They're not law. They're not, the shutdown of the school. We have our elected board members to make these decisions for our district and guide our superintendent. So please debate, discuss, have those tough conversations, make those tough calls, and stand behind them, and know that the parents are going to stand behind you. We've seen what remote learning and masking has done with our children's mental health this past year. We've seen the toll that hybrid learning has had on our teachers and staff. We cannot do another year the way that we've done it. And I just hope that everyone is looking at that and looking of how we can make it better for next year. And I really believe that every person at this meeting, all of our board members, our incoming superintendent, cares about our kids, wants what's best for our kids, even if we don't always see eye to eye on what that is. But, you know, and I appreciate the comment that was made that the personal attacks within the board has stopped, and I really hope that's the case, because I think that there's a lot to be learned from each other and from other people that are involved. And just because someone asks a question, people don't always ask questions because they don't know the answer. Sometimes they ask questions to spark debate or to have someone think about it a different way. And I think that just not entertaining those questions and not having those discussions is doing a disservice to our board. And I certainly, I hope that we're working on a plan, and I hope that in this reopening plan that we get to in a few minutes that we'll all be pleasantly surprised. I know it's still early in the summer, but August, September, is not, or I guess August is not the time to put it together. And also,
I'm sorry,
I'd like
Melanie,
to know with our incoming...
Melanie, just one more minute. I'm just letting you know because we got to make sure that we keep it to 5. Just one more minute.
Thank you. Yep, I'm almost done. Yep, thank you. And I also would like to know with our incoming superintendent, what our, I guess, COVID committee, I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but who is the superintendent, who is the board talking with, discussing, asking questions of. On the IDPH website, they had like a year in review of what the schools have learned from COVID, and they listed the principals, the teachers, everyone that's been involved. And I think that's important for transparency to show, if there are certain people that are involved, more, kind of heading it up with the superintendent, who those people are, so it doesn't feel like it's one person without taking into consideration other parts of our district. So thank you, and that's all that I have.
Oh, perfect timing too. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Melanie. I appreciate it. I appreciate your perspective and viewpoints. I can assure you too.
You are muted.
That we all have the best interest of the kids, and we are looking forward to next school year with excitement and with lots of research in mind. So Mr. Cox will be speaking on that, and there will be lots of news to come in developing and everything about that. I echo your want to hear, who is a part of the COVID committee, what the information's coming from, and I completely understand. So again, thank you for calling in.
Can you press *6? I think we...
Oh, we muted?
Yeah,
Okay.
just press *6 on that console there.
Is that green? I'm green.
I think that was...
You are unmuted.
I apologize.
No problem. It's totally fine. I'll repeat. So in case Melanie didn't hear. Melanie, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your viewpoints and your perspectives. I can assure you that as we are looking forward to the next school year, that we are all looking forward with excitement and also a lot of research and backing that will be taken into consideration following this. You will hear about this in our reopening plan with Mr. Cox. I do echo your sentiment to hear, what the COVID planning committee is and where we're getting information from. So I really appreciate you calling in. That is the type of parent and the type of sound and sentiment that we need. So thank you very much. Is there anybody else online?
No, that was it.
You guys? No? Okay. All right. Moving on. Staff reports. Who would like to begin?
Isn't it Jack Gagan?
We could go with Mr. Gam if you'd like to go first.
Mine's very simple because the school year's over, so there's not a whole lot to report. First of all, thank you for making graduation successful. I do appreciate that. An update on Maddie Boley. She finished 3rd in discus, 12th in shot put this past weekend. So she will be getting a banner put up in our gym.
Awesome.
I'm very proud of her. Hopefully we can get her out here in July. She's currently painting at the high school and other parts of our building.
I actually heard the short parade. at one point. At first, we thought it was sirens, but then we realized it was a parade, so wonderful.
Yep. And then the last thing is also from the athletic report. By now, you normally have gotten something from ATI or some athletic director or athletic trainer program. The issue is, so if you remember, 2 years ago, we were at 19,000. They upped it last year to 21,000.
Yes.
This year, they're asking for over 50.
Yes.
And so we're looking through 2 other programs, and if that doesn't come through, because it's really hard to rationalize a $51,000 position for someone here who's here for sporting events.
So do you look at that for yourself, or do you know, like, does the athletic director entertain different programs? Do they approach you?
So there's 3 different affiliations that he's reached out to. One of them is where Molly was, one of them is where Molly is.
Okay.
So we're thinking that might be our best bet. And if we can't get a number that is reasonable for us, we are in, Bob is in communication with the fire department to see if we have any off-duty firefighters who'd be willing to be the game person to represent for us.
Awesome.
So at least keep it in the community.
Okay.
But like I told Bob, I can't rationalize spending over $50,000.
And yes, I had heard about that change coming up, and I think that other companies are preparing for that as well. So hopefully we get some good stuff back there.
Other than that, any questions about the 7 line items?
The enrollment, is that for next year, or is that what we ended with?
So when Steve and I started creating schedules for next year, that's the numbers that we ended with. Registration actually starts rolling over July 1. So those are the numbers we ended the year with, and we have scheduled. I mean, they're not scheduled yet. Don't call the high school.
But your seniors at 103 was your juniors?
Correct, yep.
Correct, so
Yep.
this is your incoming class?
Yes, yep, so, yep.
Okay.
So our 9th graders are the last year 8th graders.
Okay.
So we can anticipate something similar to this.
Oh, yes, yes.
Great.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
I know I've been in contact with Becky Calamino, so I know that it's summer break. The 2019-2020 yearbooks, I know she's like, they're almost done, okay, and I understand that, so I'm
When
just...
she says they're almost done, they're at the printer. We're waiting for the printer to give it to us.
Okay.
So she submitted that a few weeks ago.
Right, and then for this year, the 21-22, there was never online to order one, so how is it possible that parents can order?
I'll have to talk
Or
to
get
Cal
one.
about how she did that.
Because I know it's a COVID year, I know
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And I know they haven't even submitted that yet, because we always get a fall issue anyway, and Lily Leopardo is actually going to take over your book next year.
Right, I was aware of that as well.
So Cal will be working with her
Okay.
once, obviously, July 1 rolls around, and then
Right.
I'll talk to Lily, and I'll talk to, Mike Meyer will talk to Lily and Dr. Cal about
Take notes, Mr. Meyer.
how and when those can be provided.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks.
Great being under budget too, by the way.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, so as I alluded to earlier, our RFP process is going well. Looking forward to what those proposals are going to be. We should have those at the end of the month. At that point in time, I'll turn those over to Mr. Gann, and he can move forward with that. You guys can have some committee meetings to piggyback off of that. Also, I'm here to go through Mrs. Black's material as well. In front of you, you should have a sheet that has some data on it. And so the reason why I wanted to go through this, and Mr. Meyer is going to follow behind me with the junior high data. We have 3 times a year, we get really good data. We get really good local data off of our STAR assessments that we use for benchmarking for our RTI purposes. Okay? And so if you look at the last 3 years, so that would be the spring or April, May of 17, 18, 19. Because last year was COVID, right? 4th quarter. So if you look at those 3 springs before at the elementary school, the average in language was 72, the average in math was 74. When we just got done doing these, as school ended, language was 64% meeting the criteria, math was 66%. Now, and the way STAR works is 60% is the national average. So, in prior years, in English, or sorry, in language, we were 72%. National average is 60%. That's a positive. Those are good numbers. Math, we were 74% meeting the criteria. National average is 60%. So now in May, after we've gone through this 14 months of COVID, still above that 60% national average in language at 64%. Still above the national average in math at 66%. And you have to keep in mind, this is, we're being compared to pre-COVID national averages. So, what this data tells us is that, yes, we've had some regression, we've had some learning losses, the common phrase. We've dropped basically 8% in each, but only 8%, right? I think that's a huge win. And not only that, if you look at the elementary school, the next slide is where do we go from here? Actually, what they're doing is they're implementing, using a lot of this data, they're implementing 2 different sessions, 20 to 30 minute sessions, each day for all grade levels, and they're calling them WIN times, W-I-N, what I need. And so they're tailor-made, using all this data, they're tailor-made exactly to where the kids have had that learning loss. And so we're able to take the data that we get, we're able to teach the kids exactly what their deficiencies are. And so, again, could not be more proud of the way our teams have handled this pandemic. I'm pretty sure that if you took just about any school in the state, they would love to be in this situation.
And I'd like to point out the number difference, the jump from September 2020 to May 2021 from, you know, the percentage, especially in math, is incredible. I mean, to fill that gap just in 1 year really shows the amount of work that's gone in by all these teachers and paraprofessionals and everything, and kids. And that, you know, that with the planning, that the rest of that learning loss will close in. I can see that it will.
Understand we got RTI, Mr. Cox, and I'll say this 1,000 times. Numbers are good. I like them going up. I think we have a great staff. I think staff does a wonderful job. What happens to that kid that gets up? Says, man, I'm really struggling in that math class. What are we doing for them? So what support do we have besides RTI?
So not only do we have RTI and instructional aids during the day, but we also have tutoring, and Mrs. Black can go into this further. Maybe actually Casey can. But we already have additional out of school times as well to support those kids. You know, combined with the fact that I know that, you know, and you know this as a parent, any of our staff members, if they know that a student is struggling and the parents reach out and they'll do whatever it takes to try to.
Right. That's not what I'm saying. I know we got a wonderful staff, but I'm just saying when that kid steps up and says that, and then I heard the key word that I've been listening for 5 years. Tutoring.
We got it. We're doing it. We got it. So any questions about the elementary? Mr. Meyer?
And now for the bad news.
Not necessarily bad.
It's just different.
This age group is incredibly tough in this.
Yeah. No
They've just
excuses.
been hard hit.
No excuses, no excuses, no excuses. We just didn't do as well. We're down a little bit in English, a couple points, and we are down quite a bit, 10 points in math. But I do feel very positive about the changes that we talked about in February when we were initially bringing you the winter data. That we asked for a 6th grade teacher, just math, so now we have a 6th, a 7th, and an 8th, and you allowed us to do that. We think that's going to help. This will be our second year of RTI, which we haven't done a very good job, but I think we are on the right track. Doing math doing this year, we did math one day, like a Tuesday, and then we did an English on a Thursday. Plus, we have study hall, so we've got 30 more minutes that we can ask those kids to come into the math teacher or the English teacher or the social studies teacher if they need some more help during the day. But we have not set up a tutoring program before. We've had an aide in the morning that would be willing to help. We just need some of the kids maybe to open up a little bit more to ask for that particular help. We try for them to self-advocate. Besides, we do know some of the kids that need the extra help. So with those numbers, I think they're going to be better. I think also with the classes that we have here, with one class leaving, a new class coming in, I think our numbers will change for better or worse. It's the same thing in the high school. We'll deal with these individuals for better or for worse. But I do feel that we are moving in the right direction. And that's kind of what the second page is saying, what we're trying to do. What we are doing. One of the things I want to point out too is I know our STAR scores are not very good, but I do want to commend our kids that all of them did meet our curriculum criteria. So we have nobody in summer school. And fourth quarter, I had 16 kids that had to make it work, and they chose to make it work. So we're pretty pleased with that part, even though this isn't ideal. And then the last thing I just had is, like I said, changes in place. The math teacher, the RTI, I think going back to a regular schedule, I think is going to help. I think with the reopening plan that Mr. Cox and Mr. Gaham are talking about, and if we can stay in stage 5 or phase 5, I think that's going to help. I do know it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work on all of ours, from the kids' standpoint, from the staff standpoint, from my leadership, from wherever. We all got to hang in there and do it. But it can be done. I think that was everything I had down for my notes.
And I saw it too, like with this age group, whereas some other age, like elementary, they kept their motivation. The teachers had the incentives and they respond to incentives. When you get to this level, it doesn't matter what incentive you're doing. In this type of learning, I was doing everything but dancing on my head. I was trying so much. And the kids that I never thought would drop off, dropped off. And so, as far as like the scores going down and stuff like that, next year will be good. When they are in here full time, when the teachers can be with them personally, every single one of them, it's going to make such a huge difference. I know it. Because I felt the same at my school as well.
No, we'll be better. And Jack sent out some information to me today. It was today, right?
Yes, sir.
Some of the positive with this junior class too, that they've improved from their sophomore to their junior PSAT test. So we hope it's the same thing. They take them in 8th grade, the ones that chose to take them, just like the IAR and the ISA, some of them chose not to take it, but we hope all those things are building blocks, and we're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So it's our goal.
Any other questions?
Thank you for your service.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We're excited to see you at the high school.
Thank you. Very good, very good. Thank you.
Okay. So, reopening plan, would we like to do? Yeah, there we go.
Ms. Palmer, just so you know, the yearbooks arrived today. Just got an email from Ms. Cal, and they'll be sending out, contacting families, and then there's going to be a follow-up email from Ms. Cal and from Waldsworth for next year's. So everything is going to be happening within the next week.
Spot on. That's how we do business. Get her done.
Please don't expect that to happen on a regular
Quick and
basis.
easy. Oh, yes, I do. You just set the bar.
Yeah, right. So the reopening plan. My goal was to come in here and tell you, because Illinois is wide open, all these wonderful things can now be true. Of course, the governor is now on day 474 of this emergency plan, which I'm not sure how it's legal, but it is. Here's what I can tell you. Schools next year at 200U for students who enroll will be in person. We are not remote next year. And I have yet to find a school around here that is remote. When I say remote, I mean synchronous learning, anything.
Zero option.
Yep.
I have found one school, and I know, is it Melanie or Melody? I apologize.
Melanie.
Melanie.
Yes.
She did ask who I was talking to, so not only have I talked to people within our group, but I have networked from up north, the superintendent in 146. The only remote option they're doing is an off-site, homebound
Yes.
service. It
That's
is not.
what Creed's doing as well.
Yep. One of the other ones from Homewood, where I taught for many years, dropped $10,000 on a program back in April before he knew that things were going to change. And so but again, off-site, homebound. So
Not on the teachers.
I have yet to find a school, and I'm going to continue to support this, that is going to have teachers streaming, synchronous learning in person and at home. Because I'm telling you right now, if we did it again next year, we would lose half of our staff.
100%.
100% of my staff.
And that's felt for all the education. We cannot anymore.
So, but again, it's always a family's choice. If they come in and they say, I will not come in person, then there's many other options they can choose as a family. But if you enroll 200U next year, you are an in-person learner. Where I had hoped to go with this was, now that Illinois is open, masks are only going to be recommended. The governor did not say that. The governor actually said, schools still require masks, vaccinated or not. Here's the fun thing is, the CDC came out earlier today and said, sports teams in school are unmasked if you're vaccinated.
Oh my goodness.
So athletes can go during a basketball team, a volleyball team, in school, if you're vaccinated, can be unmasked. But if you're vaccinated and a student, you cannot be. So, and Mr. Cox, I believe, shares my sentiment on this. There are plenty of people who are going to be breathing down his back over the next month to say this is ridiculous. And I can almost assure you by the end of July, he's going to step back and say, they're recommended for the unvaccinated. That's where I'm pretty sure they're going to come from.
Okay. So we just have to be patient and see what's going to happen.
Correct. I'm presenting you a reopening plan on June 14th.
Okay. July or June?
June, no, right now.
Right
Today's
now.
June 14th. I'm telling you
This is what it is. You're going to school.
We're going to school. The best way to say it is, picture 2 years ago
Yes.
with masks and a possible quarantine. The other thing we're doing is I'm having Angie and Mary Kay. And if you think our teachers are going to quit if we continue this, you
Bless their
will
hearts.
not find, for $500,000, a nurse who will want to do this job.
No.
So I'm having her look into the concept of even quarantining asymptomatic or non-symptomatic contacts.
And that's my question too. So if children are vaccinated, do they need quarantine?
They do not.
Okay.
So those who do not quarantine at this time are vaccinated people who are non-symptomatic, then obviously anyone who is not within the 6-foot range. Again, we thought they'd drop to 3. I assure you they will by the end of the summer. Enough pressure is going to be applied to them.
Okay. Now regarding HIPAA, I'm vaccinated. My kids may or may not be. How will you determine?
So HIPAA only applies to a school. I can't go as a school system and tell Marla, hey, just so you know, Janet's vaccinated. That's HIPAA. HIPAA is not me as an employer asking the staff member or saying, hey, if you're unmasked, you need to make sure you're vaccinated. That's not a HIPAA violation. HIPAA applies to I have your medical documents and I'm sharing it.
Okay.
So that's why you can go into the Cubs game and they say if you're vaccinated, you can be unmasked.
Because I think that's the problem nowadays, because everyone, if you can be unmasked, but everybody is unmasked.
Correct.
And everybody's not vaccinated.
Correct.
So here's the thing, IDPH knows who's vaccinated and not, right? That's all registered with IDPH if we are. Is that correct?
I don't.
I believe
okay.
you are registered as a vaccinated person, so.
But I know the microchip is telling them I'm vaccinated.
Of course, yes, I'm led by that. But then, as kids need to be quarantined or not, if that is the case, then it would be like, oh, well, Abby is vaccinated, so we don't have to, or she's not, so she does.
If you want to get out of quarantine through vaccination, you have to prove it to the nurses. You have to actually provide them or an antibody test or have had a positive COVID test.
Which saved Jake before Olympic Day.
Or here's my card, here's my proof.
Yeah, so all those things, correct.
Okay.
So you can't just walk in and say, well, I'm vaccinated. You have to prove it in order not to have to quarantine.
Okay.
But again, Angie and Mary Kay are working with that. There's currently a study being done by, is it the CDC or Illinois Department of Health through Lake County actually looking at quarantining of students, the infection rate of kids who were actually quarantined compared to those who actually caught the virus. And so that's going to be a real indicator. If they can show, and I think, you know, our Carla said it, I agree with her.
Yep.
Schools aren't super spreaders. What I'm not going to do until a lawyer tells me, hey, Jack, you don't have to have masks on.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one family to say, the governor said you have to have them. My kid has it. I'm suing you now. So until a lawyer tells me otherwise, as much as I want to be the trailblazer here, I'd rather have us, a few upset parents.
As much as it seems to look forward, where everybody's excited, we do have to wait and be patient to see where that is going.
Correct.
And that's going to be a day-by-day basis.
It is.
With this.
Yep.
It is. Well, I'm glad that somebody exposed, they don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks because that killed my kids.
I know.
Even though it was 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks of hell in my house.
Well,
well, if they're
that's what happens with their
I mean,
stores.
they are vaccinated now, but I'm just saying from this past year,
Yes.
it was awful.
Yeah.
Just downright awful, especially when a delayed AP test.
Yeah.
And not once, twice.
Right.
Finally took it the third time.
Sorry.
It's just, we can laugh about it now, but not at the time. But it was just very, very frustrating.
Absolutely.
And the look on their faces like, oh my God, I gotta do this again.
Yeah, I got cold that Jake was exposed as we were taking pictures for the dance, and his Olympic day was the next day. And my mom took him right to get an antibody test. So did you have any type of like COVID, like stakeholder committee meeting or?
Yeah, so I reached out to Mr. Meyer, Ms. Black, and I said, hey, can you give me a few parents who, I wanted some quarantine kids, I wanted some vaccinated kids, or not, I'm sorry, misuse of words, some remote kids and some in-persons. And I invited, it ended up being 4 parents I invited, 2 showed up?
You can count?
Yeah. So 2 of them showed up.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Dual roles.
Dual roles.
And then I invited some teachers, one from each building who just has the pulse of their building. Obviously, both the nurses were there. And then I asked Ms. Belt, as someone who's on the board, to come in, and she also has kids in the district.
Sure.
You know, kind of, this is what the lawyer for IPA says we can do. And again, that's from a lawyer, not from me. So, and everybody on that committee was very, very happy, particularly the teachers, about the no remote thing. But everybody seemed very supportive of where we're going, and everybody was very understanding. At that time it was May, but it's June 12th. I can't tell you what the governor is going to do, but I can tell you what he has done.
Yeah.
And he has not helped us.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Well, I'm here.
All right, so moving on to new business. For the minibus, I need a motion to approve the purchase of a 2021 Microberg 35 passenger with child restraint seats from Central States Bus Sales Incorporated in the amount of $74,415.
So,
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, Pappas?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Missouri?
yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, bus cameras, I need a motion to approve the purchase of bus video cameras from ProVision in the amount of $45,316 as presented.
Real quick, before we move on to that vote, are these the ones that are going to be automatically downloaded where there is no second hands in downloading them? I know we spoke about that. This will be downloaded on Mac when they pull them by the bus garage?
These were the top of the line, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this is the system that is seamless and everybody's able to access the video.
Yes, it downloads from the bus on request daily. There's no more, going into the bus and finding out that the footage is gone. You can check it at any time, any day, all the buses at once. So the management, retrieval, it's streamlined, and it's gonna be a lot more effective way of getting in and just downloading a regular video file to then share it for whatever administration purposes you may have.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So moved.
Seconded.
Okay.
Okay. Herman?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Pappas?
Yes.
Motion carried.
So technology, I need a motion to approve purchase order T22-17 for the purchase of 8 75-inch nickel touchscreen panel Promethean televisions with 5-year support, installation, and cable supplies from Haddock Corporation in the amount of $23,184 as presented.
So,
Is this going to the high school or the junior high?
I think
It actually varies a little bit. It's
Okay.
filling in the gaps of the remaining 8 TVs throughout the district.
Got it,
So
okay.
all
Exactly, no,
classrooms,
All classrooms,
all
then now
classrooms
we'll
will not have
them all.
Yes, between what we have now currently ordered and that's already installed and these 8, it will complete every classroom basically in the whole district that has a need for a TV.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Who motion?
I mean,
I'll second.
thank you.
Okay, Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between Beecher School District 200U, Board of Education, and Teamsters Local Union number 777 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for Beecher 200U, Board of Education, and the Beecher Education Association.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion to rescind the motion of May 10th, 2021, to employ Lisa Gator as administrative assistant.
Just a quick question. Did that Ms. Gator pull out, or did she just?
that's correct.
She pulled out.
That's correct.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Oh, I said second decision. I didn't say second.
I'm so
Sorry.
moving.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, got it. Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
and Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Yahaira Esparza Castillo as administrative assistant.
We talk about this again before we vote on it. She's already working here, not approved. I understand we have to trust our administration, but what's the difference between this and then having Mrs. Gator needing approval to start? If she accepted the position, why didn't she start the next day?
I do agree.
It's the process.
I agree with you, Mrs. Ballmeyer, on this one. We've had this problem in the past. I hope that we're not reverting back to this.
But
Because
we are.
here's my concern. Just say, I'm going to use somebody here. Ms. Pappas, we hired you for head of buses. And right, then the board says no, because something comes up. Now that person's working. Now what do? We got to go terminate. Or ask them to not come back in that day. So I just hope moving forward that me and Ms. Ballmeyer have been on this one for a long time.
And I'm glad this was brought up in meeting. So in school districts, everything is pending board approval, of course, okay? Now, we hire the administration. We trust the administration that they have done the background checks. They did the interview. They vetted, they did everything, right? It is normal for a teacher, for an employee to start as a sub position pending board approval. Now, if we get to the meeting and you feel the need to vote no on this person, and this was not brought up before and discussed with the administration, found out, and there's a serious issue, then we have a problem with their administration, not with the employee. You understand? Because we hired the administration to vet them, to do everything, you know? Not to say we have no power in the approval, that's not what I'm saying. But there are instances in education where a teacher's got to get in. You can't call a special board meeting every single time. And like Janet and I had a
We had a
wonderful
long discussion
talk about this.
But now, Julie, nowadays with Zoom,
Yeah.
5-minute call, done.
And I
So,
understand.
4 years ago, I can see it, but in today's technology, to me, there is no reason that you can pull a You call a meeting Wednesday at 7 o'clock, 5 minutes for a
Sure.
board approval.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
So this is what we talked about, again, wonderful conversation where we both said what we felt. And then, which I echoed and said, okay, let's talk about this. This is a good question in our training at board retreat to clarify the steps that we need to take and where this looks. So that we have our norm set and we know where we should be moving forward.
But I understand what we say it's normal, but
Yeah.
we should let employees know when they get hired pending board approval.
Sure.
You know, I mean, if we're hiring them, I mean, I get it, you know, it should be pending board approval, and I mean,
Right.
I just don't know anything that any company that would just say, hey, if I can hire you, because most hiring managers are gonna go back and have to talk to everybody else through HR and everything else.
Sure.
So I just say, me and Janet have gone back on this and
Sure.
on this for a couple of years now, and I just think that
Yeah.
we had coaches or something in the past, I don't want to get into it, we have great staff, again, I'm not going to go into that, but we need to just make sure that we're,
Yeah.
because they're already working.
And again, I'm really interested to see in our training, like, where that goes. Because I know what I've experienced. That doesn't mean it's right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Just because it's
I
best
want to
practice
check
doesn't mean-
what is best practice and what we need to look at, you know?
And this has nothing to do with this person tonight.
No.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with
no.
the process. It's a process.
She's
Because
wonderful, yes.
What if we vote no?
Yeah,
Right.
They're back to square one.
they are, yes.
And so, I mean,
And if we hadn't discussed that beforehand with, the people who interviewed, and if we needed to address those issues, going in.
Right.
So, all stuff that we gotta discuss.
I'm okay to move forward, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
no, I want you to bring it up. I
I'm
want
just
you
saying,
guys to talk about it.
nothing has changed
Sure.
from 6 years ago.
I know. And that's why, that's something that will definitely come up at the board retreat. Okay, thank you. So, did we have a motion?
No, we do
No,
not.
I'll move it.
Okay. Anyone second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. Palmer,
You gotta start with me.
Palmer,
No.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt. Yes. Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
motion carried.
And I'm stating no because of the process, not because of the individual. I want that noted.
We will clarify.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, I need a motion to approve the employment of Lauren DeVore as a teacher for fiscal year 2021-2022 school year, BA Step 1, salary $43,278.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
And now she's to fill the 5th grade?
She is...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a waterfall.
Yeah, it was,
Wait, is she 4th or 5th?
Fit.
She's
She's
going
done
to-
lab, went to
Fifth is
PE.
Right.
PE. I think Doyle or someone.
Doyle went
to
four, went down to four.
Okay, just following it.
Yes.
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Okay. Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the resignation of Scott Austin as junior high boys basketball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
motion carried.
On number 5, there were some questions I have in regards, I saw a report that came out. I don't want to talk about the employee in open session, if we could just take to a quick executive in
Yep.
regards to this.
Yeah, we can put a pin in that then? Do you want to finish the motions and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
Okay, let's do that. And would you like that about the second one as well?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, just that.
So 5A.
Okay, so 5A we will
5A,
save
5A.
till the end, absolutely. I need a motion to approve the honorable dismissal of Cynthia Raymond as a teacher aide.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 high school science textbooks in the amount of $59,831.49 to McGraw-Hill as presented.
So moved. Praise Jesus. We need to sign his books.
I know you love him.
I'll second this. It's been long overdue.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who motioned?
Oh, sorry, I got there.
I motion.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Thank you. All All right, Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And I need a motion to approve fiscal year 2022 high school math textbooks in the amount of $17,037.24 to McGraw-Hill, as presented.
So,
Second.
Thank you.
Missouri,
yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
and Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Great. I need a motion to approve fiscal year 2022 high school special education textbooks in the amount of $1,963.50 to Firelight Books and $643.99 to Teachers Pay Teachers for a total of $2,607.49 as presented.
I think we missed 3, Ms. Beck.
Right? A lot of them.
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 CTE annual school site license in the amount of $1,795 payable to BE Publishing as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 board meeting dates, times, and locations as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was two denotes. One was a conflict. Can somebody explain the conflict?
For,
I did not see that. It's in asterisk, yeah.
yeah, the July.
I know the one was for the
Holiday.
the holiday. What
Yes.
was another one?
I had emailed about the July 14th. Mr. Gaham will be at a superintendent conference, and so he would request that we have that meeting on Wednesday instead of Monday, so he could.
You can have it without me, it's just be awkward.
As he leads then.
He's got a phone. We can always have him, Zoom in.
I know, right?
Dial
We
in,
like him,
everybody else does.
We like him in person, you know? Yeah, so that's why.
I'm good.
Yeah, so Wednesday, next month will be Wednesday, July 14th. And we had a second.
Okay, right, we got a motion by Missouri, second by Herman. Roll call, Herman,
Yes.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a motion to proceed into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific individuals who served as independent contractors or volunteers in the district and legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a, do I have to say that?
Nope.
Okay, here we go. I just need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Belt,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Missouri,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Pappas,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried.
So if you guys are staying, so you go, but we know that you will do great things. And we figured you'd really like this for your new office.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you very much. I appreciate it. And, I appreciate all of you. I very much am thankful for a lot of things. First of all, my amazing wife. The support of the really good people in the organization, in the community. I am really optimistic that a lot of that, the positive momentum is going to continue. And so I wish you all the best of luck as well. Thank you.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
We are totally grateful. And best wishes in your new employment. It's going to be exciting. Okay, so the fourth in the fall press release, am I to read this?
That's just information.
Okay, so just so everybody knows.
Yep.
That the fourth, just because we're making sure that nobody shows up to Fireman's Park on the 4th. So for the fourth in the fall, just so everybody knows, this is moved to the fall. The dates are going to be Labor Day weekend, September 3rd through September 6th. The fireworks display will be by Melrose Pyrotechnics at 8:30 on Sunday, September 5th. There will be a carnival, a festival market, beanbag tournament, and live entertainment nightly. For more details as the schedule gets fine-tuned, go to www.villageofbeecher.org or the Beecher 4th of July page on Facebook. Hope to see everyone.
Just a quick question, I saw that come up, and I know they're moving it, and I think that's the best thing for the village, but I do believe that they asked for our use our parking lot. They're not gonna.
Not this year.
Not this year.
Not this year?
Okay.
And the splash pad should be in some time. I hope that it's not on the parking lot.
Right, the only thing I was saying is because we have to go, I think.
Yes. Okay.
And will the board be volunteering to help with that? Like as far as, running
The
a
bingo
concession
stuff?
or something like that? I didn't know if we.
Yeah, we do bingo, and we'll talk about that, after we talk to the commission to make sure that we're doing
If it's
that.
run the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It might not be, but we'll see. I don't know how bingo looks in COVID. Okay, so items for Wednesday, July 14th board meeting. Anyone that can think of anything now? Looks like maybe food service, we'll see. If anybody does, please reach out to me. Upcoming dates, on this Wednesday, Facilities Committee meeting at 10 a.m. Here, just for a kind of an update where we're at in the RFP process with HVAC, and just some preparation discussion before the board retreat / special board meeting. The board retreat is July 29th at 3, followed by a special board meeting at 6 o'clock. That will be open session. So
And it'll be here at the junior high?
at the junior high. Yes, it will, due to asbestos abatement. Yeah.
And the heat.
And the heat, yes. Okay, great. Any other items? All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.